if you're like most people, you've been watching the news and you've been hearing things about interest rates and inventory and home prices for a long time now. But a lot of those sites are reporting on things nationally. So here, I'm going to provide you with the local real estate market for Northeast Columbia. Now, this is only single-family residential homes, but stay tuned to November's market stat of Northeast Columbia. You don't want to miss it. So as mentioned, hopefully this isn't your first video watching, but if it is, I want to welcome you and tell you thank you for your support. But this is Northeast Market Stats November 2023 update. Now, you know, a lot of people are talking about what's going on with interest rate, home prices, inventory, and things of that nature. But you're going to get the local tea, as they say, from a local realtor here in the market. But as mentioned, this is only single-family residential homes, so this is no commercial properties, no vacant land, no condos, townhouses, patio homes, or anything like that. This is the data of single-family residential homes in Northeast Columbia, which is zip codes 29016, which is Blythewood, 29223, 29229, and the Richland County portion of Elgin, which is 29045. So when we look at compared to last year, the number of transactions and activities, we know this year activity slowed down. And it generally slows down in November and December just because, you know, daylight saving time, there's a lot of distractions going on. You know, people start putting up their Christmas tree before Thanksgiving. So once we get into November, these distractions happen, Christmas music playing, people are thinking about the holidays, thinking about travel arrangements, Christmas shopping. And again, there's a lot of distractions. So people a lot of things get pushed to the side. Doesn't mean that there aren't buyers and sellers in the marketplace, but it's just not the same general activity that we see for the other 10 months, and especially during the summertime and springtime. But we were down 15% in terms of total transactions that we have for the month of November. So we had 182 closed transactions versus last year where we had 212. But the good thing is we still saw appreciation. So home prices went up 7%. If you've been watching my videos during the COVID years, it started in 2020, you know, up until 2022, we were seeing 16%, 12%, or year-over-year appreciation. So now we're at 7%. That's a lot more sustainable. That's a lot more reasonable. Home prices went from $296,800 to $316,182. So it went up 7%, which is good. And once again, that's sustainable. The average is anywhere between 4 and 7% is what you can expect on average as an annual appreciation rate. But when you look at our available listings, we're still down 4% in terms of available properties on the market. Right now, 686 versus last year, which we had 715. Now, as you know, some of the stats that I like to really look at is the days on the market. This tells us how quickly things are moving. The market, you'll hear me say this again and again, it's like a river. You can never hit the same place twice, right? There's so much uniqueness to the market and what's going on today when things are happening that today is never going to happen again. So today, the market never going to happen again. It's a constant flowing river that you can't hit twice. So when you look at November for 2023, the average days on the market was 43. Compare that to October, which was 38. Now, 43, that is still not a terribly long time. Now, it's probably the longest that we've seen, you know, in the past 3 years starting, you know, we were seeing things that were under 30 days. So right now it's taking a month and a half. Still a very quick time to be able to sell a property. When you compare that to November of last year, it was 47 days on the market last year. And as I mentioned, in October, it was 38 days. So we can see how we compare to last month. Things are slowing down a little bit, but we're still trending better than what we did last year. When you look at the list to sell price, which is another key indicator, how much are buyers paying? What are homes actually selling for in terms of what it's listed at and what it's selling for? Because what it's listed at, we know is not always the price. So right now, the average list to sell price, well, not average, it's just the list to sell price ratio is 99.13%. So we're still not seeing a lot of discount despite higher interest rate, despite slower time in the market, we're still not seeing big discounts that sellers are giving. And the reason why is because we still don't have enough inventory. We still got less inventory than we had in November of last year. So inventory is still an issue, and you'll be able to see that chart in a minute. But compare that list price to sell price. Last year in November, it was 98.96. And last month, it was 99.25. So just a slight dip from last month. Right now, we're at 99.13 versus 99.25. But the average sale price has dipped a little bit. So in October, the average sale price was $318. Right now, the average sale price is $316. So it did dip a little bit. And that happens generally, once again, when things kind of slow down. So even though we're still seeing good activity, still getting a good sales price, because there are quite a bit less buyers because of the interest rate, and then because of the time of year in the market, that there has been some price reduction more than normal. Now, talking about inventory, which is such a vital factor, look at this graph. So we see we've been dipping between 3 and 2 months worth of inventory all year long. And right now we've been holding steady since September at about 3 months worth of inventory. Now, it may be a little less or a little more. As you see, the threshold is going to be, until we get to 3.5 months to 2.5 months, we're going to kind of be right there at that 3. So, we're rounding up or down based on the number, but right now we're at that 3 months inventory. A balanced market is 6 months worth of inventory. So we're still halfway from a balanced market in the marketplace. But if you look at our graph and you look at how things are going, per price point, per $100,000, of course, with our average being right over 300,000, between 2 and 4, that's going to be the sweet spot. A little bit over, a little bit less. That's going to be where we see the most activity. But what's encouraging is we have a lot more active listings than we've been having in months and years past, which means that our inventory issue is slowly getting better. As you can see from the chart too, because, in August we were at 2 months worth of inventory. And since September, we've been at 3. And depending on how everything plays out with the interest rate, we may see this continue. But if interest rates continue to dip, then expect buyer activity to increase. And then buyer activity increasing will likely either hold steady with the inventory, or it will decline again, going back down to 2 months, which will also increase prices and appreciation at a more rapid pace. So all of this, everything matters. Everything matters in terms of the interest rates and how that affects the buyer's market, as well as the seller's market, and the days on the market, and the list of sale price, and the time of year. All of these things taken into consideration have an impact on our market that we're seeing here in the Northeast. And also, don't forget, new construction sales is having a major, major impact on the market as well, because they're providing a lot of activity. They're doing things with interest rates. Some new construction interest rates are below 5%, which is making it very attractive to buyers, and they're paying closing costs, or at least a portion of it. So a lot of this is having an impact, and this is what's keeping the market active. We want an active, vibrant market, because that's how things continue to progress, and that's how appreciation continues to rise. So once again, we see that 200 to 400,000, the activity that we have now. We have more active listings than we have pending and closed, and we see that this is helping us to continue to go into 2024 with a vibrant real estate market. So we'll continue to monitor December and especially January and see how things change once we turn the corner into and flip the page to 2024. Continue to monitor interest rate and see how the interest rate affects the market here in Northeast Columbia. Now, even if you live in Northeast, this is still just a broad view of Northeast. So depending on your neighborhood, depending on what style, what type of house you're looking for, it could have a wide range of effects on the market, whether you're looking to purchase or looking to sell. So if you want to give some more information, if you're starting the process, which I encourage you to do, you're thinking about entering into the real estate transaction, either the buyer or seller or both, then you need to do your own research. You need to be looking at videos. You need to be looking at real estate articles. You need to reach out, go to open houses, do all these things so you're educated take ownership of your journey, take ownership of your process. Because the more educated you are and you pair that with the knowledgeable, experienced real estate, oh man, you're going to have such a smooth and wonderful transaction. Not only will you end up with the house that you're supposed to end up with, but you'll end up with it at the price that's affordable for you and your family. And not only will it be a good decision for you now, it'll be a good decision 5 years from now, 10, 15 years from now. So I appreciate your support. If you're thinking about selling, you definitely want to make sure you stay locked in because we got something very special coming for you in 2024. And if you're thinking about purchasing, then you want to stay tuned too because we got a ton of video content on our YouTube channel that is going to help you as a buyer in the marketplace. So once again, my name is Antonio Newton. I'm your local realtor with the Newton Group at Coldwell Banker, and thank you so much for watching and tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. You've already heard it from several YouTube channels. I don't have to tell you again, but I will. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for next month's market stats video.